You've got literally an eye blink for someone to decide if they're going to stay on your website or click away. One research study found that people form their opinion about your site in about 50 milliseconds. And once they've decided, that first impression can be really hard to change. I know this firsthand because I've worked on literally hundreds of coach websites over the last 7 years, and I see the same quiet mistakes costing coaches clients over and over again. So today I'm showing you 3 real coaching website makeovers and exactly how you can fix your own site this week so it brings in more consults and revenue to your business. So let me show you exactly what I mean with 3 real coaching websites. All right, first up is Karen Casey. She's a life coach, and here's the top of her current homepage. And I want to point out here what's working first. The design is really solid. She's got a clean layout, nice colors. It looks really professional. Karen actually built this using one of my website templates, so she's got a good structure in place off the bat. But the thing is, Karen also let me know when she submitted her site for review that even though her site talks about working with parents of middle schoolers and their teens, she's actually transitioning her niche. She now helps people navigate major life transitions, so things like loss, crisis, and divorce. And because of that, we've got a mismatch here. This photo of a tween does not fit her new niche anymore. The message also needs updating. So it's mainly an alignment issue. The foundation of the page is good. We just need to update it for where her business is going. Here's the redesign. And I want you to see the 3 elements that make this work so much better. First, a headline that names the main success her audience wants, not what she does, what they get. So this says, life may have changed, but you can still move forward. If you're in the middle of a crisis or a major life shift, that lands completely differently than saying what they get, which is sort of like coaching services, right? That wouldn't make a very good headline though. This is better because it speaks directly to where they are and where they want to go in an aspirational way. Second, we've got subtext that makes it clear what she does and who it's for. Coaching to help you navigate loss, crisis, or major life shifts so that you can grow through what life has thrown at you and step into what's next with confidence. Now you know exactly what the offer is and who it's for. And then third, we have a button with a clear next step, schedule a free call, no guessing what to do next year. We don't want people to be confused on your website on what you want them to do. Plus, we also updated the photo here to show someone who is reflecting hope, possibility, probably a midlife woman, since I'm guessing that's who Karen might end up attracting the most with this niche. And do you see how these elements work together? The headline, the subtext, the button matched with the visual. When someone lands here, they know immediately who this is for, what they'll get, and what they should do next. Let's look at another one to really cement that framework. This is Michelle Afrenio. She works with heart-centered high achievers who are dealing with stress and anxiety. And I actually love a few things about this. Her ideal client is pretty clear when you dig into the content. The design is consistent. She's got a cohesive kind of choice of colors and fonts on the site. But here's where we can make it even stronger. I find that there's just a lot happening in this top section. The menu feels a little bit crowded. There's quite a bit of text, and my eye doesn't really know where to land first. I also think this image of a woman facing away, looking at a brick wall isn't necessarily the best choice. If I'm stressed and I'm looking for help, I'd rather see someone who looks confident and approachable and looking toward me, maybe even a picture of Michelle herself here, since she's the coach that they're going to hire. Here is the redesign. We kept all those good elements, the niche, the cohesive branding, and we just tightened up the message. The headline says, break free from stress and thrive on your terms. That's the aspirational outcome her client wants. We could probably make it more specific to a particular kind of client, but I'm just kind of going off of what Michelle has on her page right now, which is appealing to those high achievers. And here's what I want you to notice in the subtext. Private coaching for heart-centered high achievers who want less anxiety, more confidence, and a life that feels as good as it looks. That last part, a life that feels as good as it looks, is messaging that's very specific to this audience. I find that when I've done research for clients in the past, a lot of high achievers look successful on the outside, but they're really suffering internally. So when they read that, they think, oh, she gets me. This is for me. And that's what you want in your subtext. You don't want to just say what you do. You want to make it clear that you understand their specific situation. And you'll notice that on Michelle's site, we placed 2 buttons here. The first says start your free session. This is for people that are ready to book now. And then we also have download the guide for people who might need a little bit more warming up first by getting on your email list. And this photo, full disclosure, this is an AI generated photo of Michelle just for this demo. She didn't actually have any professional photography on her site, but see how much more inviting it feels when you can see the coach's face. You're looking at someone friendly, approachable, which can really transform the site. So when you're using photos, ask yourself, does this show the transformation that I provide? Or could I maybe use a photo of myself to build that connection a little bit more? That visual element can be really important. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, Jennie, I'm seeing the pattern here, but I need help applying this to my whole website, not just one section on my homepage. I created a free mini course to help you called the Coach Website Blueprint. It's just 5 short videos, about 30 minutes total, that walk you through the exact line-by-line framework that I use with my web design clients for every section of your site. And you can grab it at jennielakenan.com/blueprint. Plus, you'll be on my email list for the next time I do website makeovers like this, and you can submit your own site for review. All right, let's keep going. Just one more makeover to show you. This is Sabrina Engelhardt. She helps couples and individuals rebuild trust and intimacy in their relationships. And honestly, I do think Sabrina is doing a lot of good things here. The branding is really beautiful. These colors, just kind of the overall aesthetic, feel very appropriate for her niche. And it's immediately clear who this is for. It's for couples. It's for individuals who want to feel more connection with their partner. I also love this photo of the couple. It captures that feeling of connection that she is helping people to build. But here's where we can make it even stronger. For one thing, she's using a lot of different font styles here. One in the tagline, another one in the heading, another in the subheading. Even the body font is different. It creates kind of a little bit of visual clutter. Also, the content of the subtext is good, but I think we can make it a little bit more compelling by addressing a frustration a little more clearly and avoiding being in the weeds of kind of like the fact that it's a 6-month-long program. Because I think that because she's selling it with a consult, the length and the details of the program is something that she can discuss with potential clients on that call. That's just my personal preference, but that's what I'd recommend. I did some digging as well, and I found that Sabrina actually has a really great lead magnet. It's called The 4 Sentences That Stop Fights Fast, which is so specific. It's such a quick win, but it's not actually featured here anywhere. We're going to bring that front and center as well. Here's the redesign, and I want to show you a copywriting method that I use sometimes. The subtext says, private coaching for couples and individuals who are ready to rebuild trust and intimacy without having the same exhausting arguments on repeat. See that without having to at the end? That's kind of a formula that you'll see used in copywriting because it speaks directly to a pain point while promising a solution. So if you're stuck on your subtext and it just feels like it's missing a little bit of flavor, you could try adding without having to and then name something that your audience really wants to avoid. And it makes people kind of curious, like, wait, how is that possible? I want to learn more. And if you see this bar at the top, we actually added that because I noticed Sabrina is promoting a webinar on her Instagram right now that's about women's intimacy. So I added this as a quick way to let every visitor know about the live webinar without needing to change all of the call to action buttons site-wide. Speaking of buttons, you'll see we've got 2 options here. Book your free connection call. This is the primary call to action. It's for those that are ready to talk right now. And then we have get the 4 sentences that stop fights fast for people who need a little bit more time. Maybe they're curious, but they aren't ready to actually book a call. So here's how you can audit your own homepage right now. Ask yourself these 4 questions. Is it clear who this is for? Is the problem and outcome clear? Is there an obvious next step for the visitor? And do the visuals, like the picture, support the message? Once you've done that audit, pick one thing you'll fix this week. And once you've got the top of your homepage nailed, you definitely need to know what other pages you need on your coaching website. So watch this video next where I break down the 5 essential pages every successful coaching website has and what goes on each one.